Hi everyone, welcome to today's session. The heading of the session is Environmental Effects of Energy Resources. We need to know what are the effects. We are coming to a stage of urbanization. We are being developing at a very fast rate, right? So a lot of urbanization and development is happening around us. So we need to be concerned whether it is affecting this. Is this development affecting our resources? Are we harming or are we polluting anything? That needs to be reviewed. So that will be basic agenda of today's session. So we know the effects are major effects which anybody can tell us the air pollution. Because when this urbanization happens or when a lot of developments happen, a lot of industries, manufacturing plants come, a lot of vehicles come in the road, all these emit smoke. So they emit a lot of gases. The main gases you can see are the sulfur dioxide, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen. We have carbon monoxide, emissions like chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, and many other refrigerants. When a lot of cooling and refrigeration is used, they emit CFC. So all these are basically polluting our atmosphere. Okay, so that is one important concern because it not just affects human life, it affects our aquatic life, flora, fauna, vegetation, even our monuments, everything it affects. So, in short, we can summarize or we can bring all those points together to the fact that we are indeed leading to air pollution. Okay, so as urbanization or development comes, a lot of pollution is being created or pollution is occurring. So the main pollution that is being the source of this urbanization is, or that is being generated due to urbanization is air pollution. So that will be discussed here. Okay, air pollution, as I said, it is mainly causing problems to human health. Okay, so as you know, air pollutants, there are many pollutants like oxides of sulfur, oxides of oxygen, sorry, oxides of nitrogen, chlorofluorocarbons, ozone. These are all the pollutants. These pollutants are, there are primary pollutants as well as secondary. What happens is there are many primary pollutants which gets directly emitted from a source. For example, from a vehicle, when it is in a traffic, and it is on, it will emit a lot of smoke. In that basic, the most important component is the oxides of nitrogen. So this oxide of nitrogen will again then keep on reacting as they get transferred to the atmosphere. They combine with different components of our gas. In our air, we know that different compositions are there. So it will combine with different components of gas and then produce secondary pollutants. One main example is the ozone. So ozone is not directly created; it is being generated or derived from oxides of nitrogen. So such cases happen in the due to air pollution. Okay, so air pollution is they cause harmful effects on human health as well as the environment. Pollutions are produced mainly from the combustion of fossil fuels. You know the basic fossil fuels are coal, oil, natural gas, etc. So when a lot of it gets used, coal is used for generating electricity. You need to burn it, right? So that is the combustion of coal. Then we have liquid petroleum, diesel, etc. in vehicles. That also only when they are heated up in the engine, it will function. So that will again generate a lot of smoke or such pollutants in the atmosphere. That get again reacted with other atmospheric components to generate secondary pollutants. That will cause different other effects like acid rain and ozone depletion. Then the principal pollutants, I have just categorized the principal pollutants, mainly that occurs due to the industrial, domestic and traffic sources are. One is sulfur dioxide, another is nitrogen oxides. Then we have particulate matter, that are the dust particles that get suspended in the atmosphere, carbon monoxide, ozone, hydrocarbons, benzene and lead and heavy metals. These are the different types that gets generated from industry. Industries are manufacturing plants. Domestics are from our own houses when a refrigeration is used. Then we have traffic sources. As you know, when as traffic increases, the emissions from these vehicles also increase. So the main pollutants are given here. We have oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, benzene, lead and heavy metals. Such things will contribute a lot to air pollution. So what is the basic? We are just going into detail of few of the pollutants as we saw. The first one is the sulfur dioxide. It is a corrosive gas. So the main production, mainly it is it comes from the manufacturing plants. They emit a lot of industries emit a lot of oxides of sulfur. This will get reacted with the water vapor in the atmosphere. Okay, so we know that water vapor or the water content will react with sulfur dioxide to generate acid. That acid will remain in the atmosphere, and then when rainwater falls down, it gets created into a phenomenon called acid rain. So that is another one main important problem of sulfur or oxides of sulfur. On human health, it affects in such a way that it causes asthma, bronchitis, breathing issues, etc. Okay. Then we have oxides of nitrogen. Nitrogen, as I said, it is mainly occurring from traffic or from the vehicles. That is the main way through which nitrogen gets into the atmosphere. That is called the road traffic. So here we have symbolized in oxides of nitrogen as NOx. NOx can be the different components. If it is NO1, it is, or NO, it is nitrogen oxide. NO2 is nitrogen dioxide. Then we have NO3, nitrogen trioxide, nitric oxide. Such different oxides are there. Okay, that will depend on. In general, we are saying oxides of nitrogen are always harmful to the environment. And these are basically occurring from traffic. They also cause a lot of problem to. Similarly, breathing problems occur. It causes problems to the flora, fauna, etc. Also, as I said, the nitrogen oxides will combine with the hydrocarbons and produce ozone. Nitrogen oxides will react with the photochemical pollutants and produce ozone. That ozone is creating the depletion problem. That is the ozone layer above the protective layer gets affected. Okay, so acidification is the next issue. So as I said, through air pollution, we are contributing to more pollutants in the atmosphere. One such pollutant is sulfur dioxide. Another one is the oxides of nitrogen. In general, we can say NOx. Okay, from this, the secondary pollutants get created. Secondary issue is the acid rain. That is, these two react with the water vapor or the moisture in the atmosphere and then create sulfuric acid, nitric acid, etc. So that will contribute to the acid rain. That acid rain will affect all the aquatic life, vegetations, monuments, etc. Okay, so that is being shown here. It will even affect the soil, the crop, vegetation, everything will get affected, and then this will get accumulated in the surface. Also, it will cause problems to human and animal life. Then the next one is carbon monoxide. It is basically emitted through the combustion process. The carbon, when it burns, we get carbon monoxide. You all know that. Again, on further reaction, it produces carbon dioxide. We know that carbon dioxide is actually needed in limited quantities. We need it only then the temperature of our planet or the climate can be well maintained. But in overload, when it comes excess, it creates far more problems. Effect of acid rains, as I said, is very clear. One is acidification. Lakes, streams, and soil get acidified. When lakes and streams acidify, the aquatic life gets affected. When soil acidifies, the flora, the vegetation or the agriculture gets affected. Then direct and indirect effectors. One is release of metals. For example, aluminium, which washes away plant nutrients. That will wash away the after effects are, one is the nutrients from the soil or the plants get washed away. Then wildlife gets affected, aquatic as well as the other life also get affected. Then we have decay of buildings. One common example or the most famous example is the Taj Mahal. Such monuments, when get used to the acid rain, it affects its surface and the building walls. Then health problem is it causes respiratory problems, burning issues, and irritation in eyes, etc. Okay. Then the next phenomena we need to look into is the greenhouse effect. Okay, what is greenhouse effect? We know that if you have noticed in foreign countries and all, they purposefully create a nursery for plants. Nursery is a place where plants are grown. So here in foreign countries, where there is extreme climate, when it is extremely cold, you are not able to get the proper sunlight. So in such cases, we keep a greenhouse that is being created as a nursery for nurturing these plants. The peculiarity of such a house is it can trap the heat. Okay, this trapped heat can be used for growing the plants. But here in our tropical zones, we already have abundant. We are areas such that it is already a greenhouse effect is already there. So the problem is we are contributing more to this heat. How does this heat remain? These heat, like carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Then we have methane, nitrous oxides, water vapor, etc. These are the common greenhouse gases. So in countries which do not have that, they will create a structure such that such gases are trapped inside such a building. But here we have excess of carbon dioxide, nitrous oxides, water vapor, etc. When we contribute more to it, how does contribution happens? Through emissions from fossil fuels, from vehicles, from industries, etc. We are contributing more to it, and this what happened? The air itself becomes accumulating. It will start accumulating a lot of these greenhouse gases. As such, the temperature of the earth will increase. As this level increases, it will trap extra heat. It will trap the more than what is actually needed. More heat gets transferred, causing the temperature of the earth to rise. Even a small increase in temperature will be accompanied by changes in climate. When the temperature of earth increases by very small very small degrees itself, it can affect a lot. The scenario changes, the melting of glaciers happen, precipitation, wind patterns change, etc. This will lead to, when the temperature as such of the earth increase, it leads to another phenomenon called the global warming. Okay, global warming is a long-term issue. It will lead to it has a lot of devastating impacts on the natural environment as well as the ecosystem. So loss of biodiversity. Biodiversity means human, animal, vegetation, everything. Aqua, flora, fauna, everything gets affected due to the global warming. Global warming is nothing but the temperature of the earth when it increases above than what is needed. We need a permissible level to maintain the life, but due to the emissions and due to the large quantity of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, temperature as such is globally increasing. That will lead to melting of glaciers, etc. Such an effect leads to loss of biodiversity. Then severe storms, climate will change, diseases will increase, flooding of oceans will happen. Okay, so these are the effects. So in short, we can say a lot of vector-borne even diseases like malaria, such diseases happen. A lot of people die. All happens due to the excess content of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So what can we do as a solution to global warming? We know we need to bring down the effect of the greenhouse gases. How can we bring down? One is planting trees. We know trees all take in carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. They need carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen, right? So this oxygen can be used by human beings. So when we plant more trees, when afforestation is happening, a lot of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere gets used up. So when it gets used up, that will compensate the emissions. A lot of companies and manufacturing plants and vehicles emit a lot of gases. From that carbon dioxide, if you have enough of plants, they will take up this carbon dioxide and maintain the ecosystem. So that is another one way through which we can do all that. So in these sessions, we have seen what is the effect of energy resources on our environment. We have reached a stage where we have a lot of urbanization and development happening at a very fast rate. So due to all these reasons, what happens is we are actually in a way polluting or disturbing upsetting the atmosphere or upsetting our ecosystem. So one major source is the air pollution, which occurs from different pollutants emitted from the atmosphere. So from the human activities like burning of fossil fuels through vehicles, through manufacturing plants, industries, CFCs, etc. So in just very short way, we just saw what are the main principal pollutants. What happens when these pollutants are in excess? It will lead to greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is the trapping of heat. And when this trapping of heat happens a lot, the temperature of globally our Earth's temperature will increase. Global warming leads to a variety of problems. The main solution is you need to reduce the quantity of carbon dioxide. That can be done through planting more trees, etc. Hope this session is clear to you. Thank you.